just shot down a drone. I'm about to show you footage from Phoenix. Something else is going on, guys. Why is this happening at 2 o'clock in the morning? He's like right there with it. Ooh, he's like right on it. Whatever it was, just shut down the drone. If there was a drone. I told y'all those drones were there for those orbs. That's why the drones have been in the sky. Because of the orbs. What are the orbs? Fuck the drones. The drones are ours. What are the orbs? I'll tell you this. They sure as hell do not seem to be human. One of those orbs just shot down a drone. I'm about to show you footage from...
What are the orbs? Before I get this lesson started, we have to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom we learn from. And shalom to the elder, to the hopeful elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect of Yahshua to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahushai. This is your brother Radah, with an answer. What are the orbs, you guys? Because we know the drones are man-made, Esau-made, Esau's attempt to mimic the truth. And we have to get to the place where we can discern the holy from the profane, right? Let's see if I can find that. To discern holy from profane, okay? So Ezekiel 44:23. And they shall teach my people. Who's the they? Let's go back one. Neither shall they take for their own wives. Go back another. Neither shall any priest drink wine. So who are the priests? The priests is type and shadow of what? The prophets, the apostles, the elders, right? The pastors, those elect men of Yasharallah. Okay? The elect men. Neither shall they take for their own wives or a widow, nor her that is put away. But they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between unclean and clean. What do we just see here?
Phoenix.
Do chariots fall out of the sky? No. And why do they not fall?
Something else is going on, guys.
Because of the hosts of heaven and the spirits of the living creatures is in the wheels. I'm going to pull that in Ezekiel right now. Hold on.
Why is this happening at 2 o'clock in the morning? He's like right there with it. Ooh, he's like right on it. Whatever it was, just shut down the drone. If there was a drone.
So, we're going to get precepts. And just in case what we just saw here is fake, know that in the future this is going to be, the war in heaven is going to happen. And we're going to get that in Revelations in 2nd Ezra 13, because this is going to happen. Whether this is authentic or not, I'm going to give some grace. I'm going to give some space for grace, because right now Esau's trying to control a narrative. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The so-called white man does not have anything in his arsenal. There is absolutely nothing in his technological warfare arsenal that he has that can stand up to get against the chariots, the curse that will enter into the house of the thief, the so-called UFOs. He has nothing to stand up against that. And we're going to pull precepts. Let's get Ezekiel. The spirit of the creature is in the wheel. Boom. See, it's already coming up. So this is Ezekiel 1:19. So if you want to read the first chapter of Ezekiel, Ezekiel is seeing the wheel within the wheel. He's seeing the host, the angels, the creatures. And these are chariots. These are what Esau calls UFOs. But they're not unidentified flying objects. They're right here in the scriptures. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the Spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. You know what? I'm going to pause this really quick. I'm going to pull up yesterday's camp when Brother Yaquab was going into the Marakab. He was explaining the chariots, and he said a lot of deep things, but he said one deep thing that actually made me scream out loud. I kind of lost composure because it was such a deep revelation. Let me pull up that camp, and I'm going to come right back. Okay, here we are. This is yesterday at camp. The Brother Yaquab does an amazing job at explaining what the world ignorantly thinks are UFOs. He's using the scriptures to prove to you that the UFOs are the chariots. They are the vehicles that the holy warring angels operate for Yahweh the Most High under the direction of Yahushai, the one whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You have to understand that the elect are the elite, the wicked elite of Esau, the so-called white man. They understand that the chariots are mentioned in the scriptures, and they have purposely lied to the world through Hollywood movies and the media for the past 100 years about what the chariots are, accusing them of being something that they are not. They are the literal military force of heaven, and there is coming a physical confrontation in the future. It's called the War of Heaven, Revelations 12, when Satan falls from heaven. And that Satan that falls from heaven is talking about Esau the white man. It's not talking about what people think is Satan falling from heaven thousands of years ago when he lost his position. The real Satan is still seated at the left-hand side of Yahweh. He will never lose his position. That is a gross perversion and misunderstanding of the position of Satan in the Bible through Western Renaissance Christianity. He never lost his position, and he's not fighting with the Most High. The Most High Yahweh controls the Alahayim, which means powers, on the right-hand side, and he controls the Alahayim, which means powers, on the left-hand side. They both do what he says. He is perfect balance. I'm going to let the prophet explain. Listen to what he says.
Aliens. That's right. That's right. They gonna get you for that. Yeah. We just gonna mock the angels and not know they gonna get you. Right. Revelation 1:6. It says, "And hath made us kings and priests unto Yahweh and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever." And he made the elect kings and priests. The elect of who? The nation of Israel. That's right. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also. Now, if it's a physical cloud, how can every eye see a physical cloud? No. That's right. Instead, this is talking about a huge spaceship. That's right.
The word cloud in the Bible, white horse, birds, whirlwind, wheel within a wheel, chariot, flying roll, are just some of the words used in biblical prophecy to describe what is known today as UFOs or UAPs. We're not talking about fucking drones. We're talking about the shape-shifting, glowing orbs that have been known to shoot down rockets. What you just saw earlier was one shot down a drone. We're talking about the real, true, so-called flying saucers. Those are called clouds in the Bible because they can cloak themselves like clouds. And they do cloak themselves like clouds. In fact, the story of Moses leading the children of Israel out of Egypt, when they were walking around the wilderness for 40 years, what was in the sky? A cloud as a pillar of smoke by day to shield them from the sun, and a cloud of a pillar of fire by night to give them light. That was a chariot. It was a UFO that was above them in cloud and fire form, leading them around the wilderness for 40 years. And they would follow it. Every time it would move, they would move. When it would stop, they would stop. That was a UFO, you guys.
A humongous, like words can't even describe how huge it is. That's why Ezra said, he called it a mountain. He said, I went to look on this side and that side, and I can't see where it ended, where it began. The chariot took up the whole sky.
That's right.
That's that cloud.
That's right.
Says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall well be. And they pierced him. Don't get all of it.
Yep.
Who is it that's talking about the Roman soldier that pierced Yahushua after he died? That was disrespectful. He pierced Yahushua.
Right.
And so guess what? Yahushua he's gonna turn him to powder.
Right.
All right. So was that also prove reincarnation?
That's right, brother.
I'm not talking about coming back as a goddamn frog like the Hindus here. They bugged out. It's talking about coming back in your own nation.
Right.
You heard him right. Reincarnation is definitely in the scriptures. Another thing that the fucking West and Renaissance Western Christianity doesn't understand, because they don't understand the scriptures. They don't even understand that the UFOs are a part of the Bible, are part of Bible prophecy. How are they going to understand reincarnation? And again, the mystery of the scriptures is only allowed to be opened up by the elect Hebrew Israelite men. They are the only race. They're the only seed line. They are the only men qualified enough. They are the only men who it was given to explain these things. That's why when you go back in the Old Testament, every time a pagan or a heathen king got a message from the Most High, who had to explain it to him? A Hebrew Israelite man. Joseph had to explain Pharaoh's dream. Daniel had to explain Nebuchadnezzar's dream. There you go. There goes your two witnesses, man. And the Most High does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So let's now go back to the question. Of course, it timed out. Let's get it.
One of those orbs just shot down a drone. I'm about to show you footage from Phoenix. Something else is going on, guys. Why is this happening at 2 o'clock in the morning? He's like right there with it. Ooh, he's like right on it. Whatever it was, just shut down the drone. If there was a drone.
And I beheld Satan fall like lightning from heaven. That is literally going to happen. Now let's get the precepts. Listen, you guys got to see the precepts. It's our job to show them to you. Whether you accept them or not is based on your election. If you're an elect member, if you're an elect spirit, you will understand it. If not, good riddance. The war in heaven. The war in heaven. Look at this. Heaven has three meanings in Scripture. The throne room, the literal throne room of the Most High, the atmosphere, the sky and space, and rulership on the earth. This war in heaven in Revelations 12:7 is talking about the rulership position on the earth. And the race of people who hold that position on the earth is the so-called fucking white man known as Esau Edom. Revelations 12:7. And there was war in heaven. That's talking like this. You're going to see chariots in the future fighting drones, helicopters, airplanes, missiles, whatever Esau has. When Yahushua comes through the atmosphere and manifests himself with the angels, he's coming with the clouds and with fire. Remember, clouds means chariots. There's going to be a literal war in heaven. That's what this is talking about. And there was war in heaven. Michael Allah, who was like Yahweh, who was like the power. Him and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And the dragon is talking about the Roman fucking Empire, and America is the revised Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has been in power for the past, we're going to say 2,000 years with a 1,000-year break during the Renaissance period. I mean, during the Dark Ages, before the Renaissance period, that's when they were bound for 1,000 years. Okay? And in verse 12, chapter 12, verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. There was no more position of rulership. This is 2 Ezra 6:9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of the world that follows it. This is the transfer of power. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Who's the one race of people that has been lying to everybody about everything? They lie to people about science. They lie to people about the medications, medical practices, what type of food to eat, what type of food not to eat. They lie about history. What race? It's not Chinese. It's not fucking Africans. It's not the Hamites. It's not the Moabites. It's the Edomites. This is talking about them, you guys. Here's some more precepts. Let's get some more, because you fuckers don't want to. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. 2 Thessalonians 13. Look at this. This is Revelations 12, but in 2 Ezra 13, more detailed. And it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves. They're talking about the firmament in the heavens, because there's water up there. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. He's coming with multiple clouds, multiple hosts of Yahweh of hosts, many, many armies. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. This is your battle of Armageddon. Okay, this is Yahweh Shaphat. This is everybody get together. Let me pull this shit up, man. You motherfuckers make us mad, bro. Ronald Reagan.
It's a true story, I understand, about a newspaper photographer out in Los Angeles. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quick...
Do not think for 1 second that this was an innocently spoken presentation. This was a masterfully crafted, left-handed lie presented as an organic... I was just wondering, get the fuck out. This is fucking Ronald Reagan. He's a goddamn fucking Edomite. He was a fucking actor in Hollywood. And oh, what do you know? He just became president. Why? Because he was elected to be president, because he's a fucking Freemason, and everything is premeditated 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years in advance with these motherfuckers, man. They're very crafty and very skillful at what they fucking do. Do not think what he's about to say was just some innocent little statement from this poor little white man. Oh my gosh, I was just on my bed and I was just thinking, what if? Listen to what the fuck he says. And we know goddamn well this specific race of people is the only reason and the number one reason for all the goddamn wars on the planet Earth since they've been in power. And listen to how he says, listen to how he talks about war.
Our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
He's saying if an outside threat came, all of a sudden the problems that face the earth would leave. That's a fucking bunch of bullshit, because this race, this fucker right here, they are the reason for all the problems on the fucking planet. The CIA, the FBI, they're in every nation causing coups, assassinating leaders, getting everybody stuck to the petrodollar, getting everybody off the gold standard. They're stealing everybody's resources. They're lying about history. They're lying about Yahushua. They're accusing the chariots of the Most High. Right now, as he's speaking, he is speaking great things against the Most High. But he's coming off as, oh, I'm just a little white man. My beard is shaved. I have my suit and tie on. I'm such a nice little guy. Get the fuck out of here. Watch.
And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
So he's calling war an alien threat, yet it is his specific race of people that is behind all the fucking war on planet Earth. And he's up on fucking TV acting like, man, we're all just in this thing. This is when the white man is talking about the shit he does, all of a sudden it's the world that's doing it. We, mankind, have done it. No, it's your kind that did it. When he's talking about black on black crime, all of a sudden it's specific to the Judites. These motherfuckers are wicked, man.
Anyone this involves, a missionary was being chased by a hungry lion. And the lion, over and over, they told us if aliens...
These guys are a fucking piece of shit. Let me get back to my point. Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, and they understood, because they took this book out of the Bible, you guys. Verse 6, behold, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, flew upon it. What's Ezra's describing? He's describing a massive fathership in the sky, like a mountain that he's flying up, that Yahushua is flying on. Verse 7, but I would have seen the region, or the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, meaning he couldn't see the edge. North, south, east, or west. He couldn't see the edge of the ship. It was so massive. Verses 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, they were afraid, yet they did fight anyways. This is going to come in the future. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. This is the doctrine, the testimony, the word, literally coming through the word, who is Yahushua of the Most High, manifesting in concentrated laser beam fire coming out of those ships and vaporizing the entire armies of Esau. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. So that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw it, I was afraid, and you would be afraid too. Now let's do one more precept, and I'm done. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. So is it talking about the Most High speaking here? Is it talking about his throne? No, it's talking about the rulership position that is held on the earth by the Edomites. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek word for fucking Edom, the so-called Edomites, the Edomites, the so-called white men, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath the sacrifice in Basra. Basra is the chief city of Edom. It's like saying L.A., California, or Houston, Texas. And so this is specific to the Edomites. And a great slaughter is in the land of Idumea. And the word Idumea is the Greek word for Edom. Verse 7, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. Look, and it shall be the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. All the white man has ever told you is that he's a Christian, the Amalekites are the Jewish people, and that the real Hebrew Israelites, the Latinos, Native Americans, and the so-called blacks are just thugs and slave members and poor people. Okay, that's what the controversy of Zion is all about. Look, one last, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. Why? Because of the concentrated laser beam fire of the chariots and the ICBM missiles. One more. The curse that goeth through the whole earth. See, we just saw that the people of the curse. Look, Zechariah 5. Then he said unto me, this is the curse. What did he see? And he said, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. He's talking about a chariot, you guys, a UFO. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. A cubit is 1.5 feet. So 20 cubits would be 30 feet, and 10 cubits would be 15 feet. So he saw a 30 by 15 foot rectangular type shape, like a tic-tac. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth And nobody has stolen more than the so-called white man shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth falsely, and no one has sworn falsely more than the so-called white man, be cut off as soon as as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts. The hosts are those chariots, the so-called UFOs. That's his army, and it shall enter into the house. That's talking about a race. That's talking about a seed line. That's talking about a family, a man that progenitored a race of people, the fucking Edomites, the house of the thief. Is the white man not in Africa right now still stealing resources since the last 100 years? Did he not steal us as a race of people and brought us over here to be slaves? Does he not go all over the fucking earth, all over the Middle East, stealing their resources and their oil? Yes. They steal from each other here in America, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely. That's going into your Christianity. That's going into your court and your judicial system. That's going into when they put their hands on the Bible every year or every 4 years when they swear in a new president. It's talking about the so-called fucking white man. Okay? And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. This is coming to Esau very soon. Whether or not this is a true video or not, I believe it is. But just in case it might be
one of those orbs
doctored up,
just shot down.
Just in case it might be doctored up, this is going to happen. Prophecy says so. There is going to come a clash with UFO chariots, with Yahushua on one of them, that when you guys see him, you're going to freak the fuck out, because you're going to see a so-called pissed off black man in his God form. He's not going to meet you as a man, and he's going to be pissed. And the scriptures say everyone who sees him is going to wail, because now the narrative is not going to be able to be messed with no more. He's going to be pivoted. He's going to be parked in the sky
on a drone,
and he's going to be kicking Esau's ass, and there's nothing he can do.
I'm about to show you footage from Phoenix. Something else is going on, guys. Why is this happening at 2 o'clock in the morning? Told y'all those drones were there for those orbs.
I beheld Satan fall as lightning. And that's what this is. When Yahushua said this in the New Testament, he was not talking about the devil. He was talking about Esau, Edom, the same race of people in the Roman Empire that was in rulership when he was doing his earthly ministry. I beheld Satan. And I'll be done. I beheld Satan fall like lightning. Fall like lightning. Why? Because he's the one that's going to fucking take him out. Yahushua himself is going to bring the white men down. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from rulership. Talking about the same race of people who were in rulership when he was walking the earth when he said this. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and the great millstone of whom I learned from. Shalom to the hopeful elect men, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai, our great King, our most beloved elder brother, and the mighty and great one coming back because of the oppressor. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.